What's my name again?
Okay, I fixed it. For him, he would have something that in my fonts is called angelic alchemy.
What are we talking about?
Oh, I'm making the fonts.
Ah,
Lift.
Tony
But
found down a rabbit hole of calligraphy for our characters, essentially.
okay.
yep,
I missed
yep.
that trying to do last minute setup stuff, but
For
I'm good
you,
to
sir,
go and I've gone live.
there we go. For Cyrus, I am thinking that your character, when I hear his name, my brain goes to dried blood because he's a medical professional.
Either that
Unless
or a white text with like a dark color or like a red outline because white for sterile hospitals.
or very light teal.
Make
Because
his
from
text bubbles look like Iron Man's.
Iron
Because
Man's not a
tech.
Iron Iron Man. That would be a Fovada thing.
I feel like it could work for either of them. Don't they both have like some sort of electronic thing going on with them?
No.
No. Okay. All right. My bad.
I has the static electricity, and we don't actually know that because I've not revealed that at all.
Yeah, he
okay,
hasn't had
good.
the chance to use his magic. Whenever the one time you guys have been in a fight so far, he got trapped into a net up against the ceiling and couldn't move.
It's like after fight. Oh shit, Cyrus.
It's like,
Go
oh,
fuck away.
right, Cyrus, hold on, we'll go get you down. We'll go get you down, buddy. By the way, the
Does
one
it actually
thing
happen?
that you did miss from that last session, is one they managed to take down and capture the Sabat dude, and bring him in to the prince who is currently like interrogating him for the next, you guys don't know how long it's going to take to get all the information that you need from him. And now you've been, oh yeah, thanks, Pira. But I got distracted. Oh
Okay,
yeah, and
so
then
I'm
the
like,
prince gave you guys a much nicer hotel to stay in that all of you are collectively currently in.
Yup.
Like
Slumber party.
it's basically one really big apartment.
ooh, I have an idea for
Like there's a
Abby's.
house. You guys essentially have a house in this floor. It's fancy and expensive. But the prince can do that because it's the prince.
Fancy pants, Rich McGee over here.
Excuse me.
I will forever hate that that was apparently AI,
Well, now I'm sad.
right?
Uh, you know what? Since we're probably gonna be starting soon, I might as well switch over to the other screen while we're just sitting here chatting.
Okay, so I want to make sure I got this right. I got Cal, I got Bovana, I got Cyrus, I got Abby. Am I missing anybody else besides my character?
Abby, Cal, Favana, Cyrus. No, I think that's it.
Okay, good.
Alright, because my bot
There we go.
refuses to announce that I am live, we're gonna go at people.
Just at every.
Yeah. And then it'll tell me, it's like, are you sure you want to at this many people? Yes. I'm
Absolute.
absolutely positive.
Are you sure you want to do it? You bet your sweet bippy I do.
You bet your sweet baby I do.
I don't even know what bro meant when he said that, but considering it was like old school Cartoon Network, it could have been literally anything.
It's an old saying.
I did not know that. I've only heard it from Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
I think it
Did
You
means
bet
everybody
your
have
sweet
anything
bippy I
outlined?
did.
I
a
haven't watched Ed, Ed, and
pacifier.
Eddie forever. Wait, the
You know what?
pacifier?
Fair enough.
Yeah, Bippy.
Huh.
That sounds like a
Of course, Dino. You see that I have tagged people, you're like, oh shoot, wait, hold on.
I have done fucked up.
It's like, hold on, I got this.
seconds after. Seconds after.
It just had to wake up.
Yeah. And me tagging people woke it up because I guess it tags the bot as well. That's what I like to think anyway.
Amor de gato. It's the robot.
Anyway, we ready?
Let me hit the
Yes.
start recording button and then.
Oh yeah, wait, I should probably turn on push to talk. Hold on.
That is a good point. We probably all
I'm
should.
I'm nearly done with the fonting, so don't worry.
What the
Oh my
font?
gosh, that's why you guys are responding to everything I was saying just recently. Fudge.
What, did
Oh,
you
you were
forget that
speaking.
you had push to talk on or something?
That's the joke I was making, yes.
Senor.
Mhm.
All right, well then I'm gonna swap over to the out of my starting soon screen,
All right.
and the first thing everyone sees is me bouncing. Because hi. But
Hello.
yes. Hello. It's lagging slightly, and I'm not sure why, but it's not like I'm running anything major outside of the model. But anyway, so last we left off at, we had, as I was relaying to Jay over here, we had taken down. Yes. Oh, I forgot that I had push to talk on already. So my stream was hearing me, but you guys were
Whoopsie.
not. um.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, as I was relaying to Cyrus, we left off at this little group took down a big bad Sabat. It was impressive. And oh, that was weird. But they brought him to the prince unconscious. They looted and grabbed a bunch of guns. They found some paperwork that needs decoding that seems to use old military jargon for secret messages and stuff like that. And a lot of it, what they assume to be plans or other things. And the prince is given them permission to try to figure that out while he works on interrogating their prisoner. For their success in capturing a Sabat, and honestly, very short notice. This was all 2 nights. They came into town, and the next day they found and captured and brought him in. It was impressive. So he rewarded them with a really fancy hotel / apartment that they get to stay in for the foreseeable future, as long as they don't screw up. So don't screw up, guys. No pressure.
I can't
Well,
promise
now I'm gonna have to.
anything with how Ray talks to the prince normally.
Speaking of Ray, this is a new night. So everybody lose 1 blood point. And
We
then
lose a blood point?
yes. Every morning you lose a single blood point.
It cost a point basically to wake up.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
it's kind of like as a human, you know how you wake up and sometimes you're just really hungry? It's like that. Some of that blood goes
Gotcha.
away, so you're a little bit more hungry.
Mostly I wake up and really have to pee.
That is true.
Yeah, well, you
We
don't
do
need to
expel
pee
stuff I said
anymore,
in the book,
so.
so I mean that could just be it.
Nope. That's the wrong page. And then I gotta remember what the role is for you, Ray, because of your nightmares. I can't remember if it's a flat. I think it's a flat willpower roll, but I don't remember the difficulty.
Don't forget to put the dice rolls on the screen for the poor people to see.
Oh, yeah. Why does that keep getting moved? Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, it's because... Boop! Fixed it.
Willpower roll diff 7.
Oh, thank you. You found it faster than me. So yeah, it's a flat willpower roll at difficulty 7.
Okay, so it's my willpower with a difficulty 7, so it's just 4.
Yeah, 4 dice at a difficulty 7. That's right,
Okay.
guys. She leveled up her willpower. Be proud. Be happy.
Fuck up.
She has a better chance now, at least. Hello, Light. Enjoy your lurk.
I have failed once again. Ready for another dramatic
But-
count?
But, it wasn't a botch. I think last time it was a botch.
Correct. Last time it was a botch. This time it's
Yup.
just you take that -1 for the rest of the night.
Yeah, so you get the -1 for the rest of the night, but you don't wake up and still believe you're in a nightmare. You're just still shaken by it. PTSD is wild, man.
You'll shake it.
It's a wild
not
thing.
So yeah, let's see, and it's whoever has the highest humanities who wakes up first. I believe that was Looney beforehand. Oh man, why? Why is my stream lagging so much?
It's having a stroke trying to process all this with the 3D model.
Yeah, I think I might swap back to my PNG. Luckily, I still have it active. I just gotta swap the images. So one moment while I do that, but I think Ray is who wakes up first. I'm gonna double check. Hold on. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely Ray.
Because for me, it's at. Hold on. It's at on the humanity path thing. It's like a 3 if I do the listing right. But if it's not that way, okay, so it's like 2.
Your
so it would be
humanity
an up
is
to an 8.
way over a 3.
Okay, because with the listing, I said 1 perversion, 2, 3.
Girlie, you
I'm
have
thinking
yours
about-
at your
I got the
dots. Your
dots.
humanity is by the dots. You're at 8.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
last time I think it was Ray, then
Yeah.
Cal.
Yeah, and then I
Uh,
think what, Abby and Fovana? Or I think the
Abby's
other
a
3 woke up
6.
at the same
She's
time.
last.
Yeah, same. Mine 6.
Then yeah, me and Foe are the last. I like to think Abby fell asleep on the couch doing the thinking man.
Does she do that to be silly?
Yes, absolutely. Abby's
No, that's
existence
just
is silly.
Alright, so the order is Ray, then Calvin. Wait, was Calvin and Cyrus both wake up? Wait, no, let me double check. Hold on.
so I believe Cal wakes up before Cyrus. At least that's what happened last time, and why he kind of wandered around a bit first.
Yeah, I believe so.
Both of y'all's humanities at the same. So unless did he up? No, yeah. Well, you guys have the same.
I think that was a faux pas on your part in the first time everyone woke up because you didn't remember everyone's humanity.
Yeah, that's probably a mistake on my end. You guys probably should have woken up at the same time. So Ray, then Calvin and Cyrus, and then Fovana and Abby. So Ray, how do you wake up? Where? So in this big fancy like building, where would she have slept?
Well, for her, it's like a huge thing. So she would probably end up sleeping in a corner because she doesn't like big, huge spaces unless they're like full of stuff, like a museum.
What about a closet? Would she have slept in a closet?
Yeah, she would have ended up sleeping in the closet. No jokes about that. I know some of you.
Trapped in the closet.
Like the
You're trapped in the closet too.
So
Shut up.
my my thought process was for her, if she doesn't like the big open spaces, would have been like a shower or a closet.
She doesn't do the shower because of like an old college prank that happened on her. So she goes into the closet. Like, but when she wakes up though, she just opens the closet up and just crawls out like a dog, and then stands on her 2 feet to stretch out and pop her spine like a Pez dispenser. Yeah, that's it. She doesn't look around for anybody. She just stands there and she's like, "Okay, I've had a nightmare. I'm fine. I'm okay."
I can at
Puts
least tell the difference between reality and the dream this time.
Yeah, she could tell, but she's like, "I should probably sit down and get into my head right now that I can't have tea unless it tastes like ash and I have to throw that back up again. That's not gonna be fun because we have a problem with throwing up in this household."
Yeah, throwing up's not great. Um, that being said, you've got like a good hour to yourself to kind of wake up and gather your bearings and
At this point,
process
she
your
will
nightmare.
she'll utilize this time to get dressed into another outfit because she feels like now after 2 nights of wearing the same outfit, she's got to change. She's just got to change. It's the human in her. She's like, "I know I can't produce sweat, but goddamn, do I feel gross. I need to get
And
out of this."
that the exact reason why Cal wanted to stop by his apartment before getting to this hotel.
Okay, so you know, like that outfit that I sent that would be like for a party and all that. Yeah, she's wearing that right now. And if you don't know what I mean, I could send it back in like the chat again.
You might have to remind me.
I have sent it. There you go.
Oh, she already has that outfit.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, that is the outfit she's going to be wearing because right now she's like, "Fuck it, I'm a vampire. I might as well just have fun with it."
As many a vampire eventually come to the conclusion to.
She just came to it a lot faster than anyone would probably expect for someone in that situation.
It's how she copes. It's fine. Um, after, but yeah, after that, she gets dressed. She gets like all taken care of and is set and puts on this outfit that shows off all the tattoos that she's had hidden up until now. Um, and then Cal and Cyrus wake up. Where have you guys been sleeping? I kind of assume Cal would have taken a bed.
That kind of
If
depends
having a
on
room is an option.
Well, Both of y'all are talking at the same time.
Perfect.
So, okay, first off, Cal, what were you saying?
So, as if Cal slept on a bed or not, that depends on what everyone else did, because he kind of want to make sure everyone else is comfortable before worrying about himself.
I think there's probably enough space slash beds that at the very least a pull-out couch could have been made if there was even only two beds. Um, it's a big fancy place. You could things turn into other furniture.
Valid. So, yeah, Cal
I,
probably would have been on a bed then.
yeah, I was gonna say, I would not be on a bed.
What would Favana? We'll get to where Favana would be in a moment. Cyrus, where would you have been?
If a bed was an option, I'd see no reason to not, just because, you miss some of the simpler things in life regardless.
Valid, valid.
Also, for context, Cal, he fully embraces the whole looking like a corpse thing whenever vampires are asleep, so he slept flat on his back, arms across his chest, all that stuff.
You just was like, if I'm a vampire, might as well sleep like one.
And he wakes up like one too when he's in a bed. Like, so when he opens his eyes, at first he doesn't like move his hands and he just sits up straight and then moves. It's good stretching. There is a surprising amount of popping that occurs. Just trying to shake off that rigor mortis.
I love it. Man, you're really going into the drama of the Toreador. I love it.
Absolutely.
They're all dramatic in their own little way, somehow. Um, what would Calvin and Cyrus have been doing when they first wake up? Like, what's going through their heads? Are they looking for anybody? Are they just kind of like taking the chance to kind of quietly wander the new building?
That wandering the building does sound fun. Just gotta probably gonna be looking at Cyrus and is that business or casual?
Huh?
Trying to decide what I'm going
There
with.
is a glazed dazed look, as if someone who has not had coffee for 3 days and gotten just as little sleep is just, huh?
Oh, right. Most people take a while to wake up, don't they? But yeah, just business or casual. Don't think. Just say
Casual?
casual. It is then. And Cal's gonna start rifling through his clothes.
I love it. I kind of want you to describe what he changes into.
I can totally do that because I planned for this.
Do it. Oh my gosh, do it.
So up until I guess technically yesterday morning, since we wake up at night.
Yeah,
So
the night
yeah,
is the morning for you, but
yeah. So like basically until everyone got into the hotel and gotten ready for bed and stuff, everyone had only seen Cal wearing the clothes he wears for work, the vest, the tie, all that stuff, the well dressed kind of gentleman. Whereas going with a casual look today, he ends up pulling out this sort of royal blue t-shirt that looks like it might be like a size larger than what he needs. Some blue jeans, maybe a little baggy, and he's rocking a pair of Tims with it. Still has that sort of faded gold watch on. But yeah, this is Cal wearing some more casual clothes, and he legitimately looks like a dude who came straight out of New York.
love it. Cyrus, do you have a certain plan on getting that coffee in you, or are you just gonna kind of suffer till you wake up?
Well, we can't have coffee, so there's no option to that. So it's probably just gonna be actually
False.
we have. Sorry, go on.
False. The answer is to drink the blood of someone who just had coffee.
I feel like for some reason I feel like the hotel is not just gonna have that on room service. Can I get a nice espresso, please? In an O negative?
It'll taste like ash, but and it's not going to really affect you in any way. So you're just drinking liquid ash if you do that. Sadly, you don't get the effect of any sort of like drug or beverage otherwise, unless you drink it from a human, because otherwise you're just one, it tastes like ash. Two, you're gonna have to throw it up later.
You could order a bomb espresso. Maybe.
A bum espresso.
I actually had an
Well,
idea for
bomb
something I wanted
espresso.
to try to
Bob
do
espresso.
in
Some
game
guy
that
named
wouldn't
Bob.
affect anything.
I mean, we're in a vampire-friendly hotel, right? Seems plausible that they would have a guy named Bob that would drink espressos solely for the purpose.
Yeah. You guys are in like the vampire like side of these things. There's probably ghouls that work there.
Gotta get the special code to get a bag of blood.
No, they recognize the phone number.
I would say the
Actually,
staff is probably entirely ghouls, considering it's run and vampire friendly. And they probably do have blood dolls that probably are down in the basement, carefully taken care of, who make donations for X amount of money. Blood harvesting is a lucrative business in Kindred Society.
Yep. So yeah, you can absolutely get some room service just for blood.
actually, what I did want to do is, since we have an hour before some of the others will be waking up, I wanted to spend that hour doing one of the rituals my character knows, if that's okay.
Yeah. What was it?
It was the New Age one, the blood crystal one that essentially lets him store a certain amount of vitae, but in a crystal, depending on if he succeeds or not.
You're wanting to go ahead and store some?
Basically, what it is it has a base difficulty of 5, and then depending on how many points I wish to attempt to store, it'll up it. I wanted to attempt to store 3 in it.
Yeah, so that's what I was asking. You were wanting to store some?
Yep, yep.
What is the roll on that? You said base difficulty 5, but with one added
Oh,
per point.
it was 1 per blood point you were attempting to store, so that would have bumped it up to 8. Yeah.
The difficulty you doing. Wouldn't the base? So if the base is 5, wouldn't it only go up by like 2?
Which book was that in, so that I can read the exact
The blood
wording?
right, the blood rights one you sent.
Gotcha.
Because how you're describing to me, it seems like it would have only gone up to 7.
Luckily, it was the last one I looked at. It's already right up here for me. Okay, so the difficulty doesn't change. What it is you make the roll, and the number of successes you get on the roll is how many blood points you can store.
Oh, I thought I'd increase the difficulty because trying to store more would be harder, not it stays at the difficulty of ritual level plus like 3 or whatever.
Nope, what I'm reading right now is you make your ritual roll. Thank you, tongue. And the number of
Safety.
successes you garner is how many blood points you can store. So you can't like determine I want to do 3. Is you roll, and you can store up to the number of successes.
So what is the difficulty on that?
For that, I need to go to the main book. Give me a second.
Unless I misread it, I thought it was the 3 plus the rituals level.
You're probably correct, but I also want to just double check. Yes, so it is an intelligence plus occult roll. The difficulty is 3 plus the level of the ritual. So you are correct. It is a difficulty 5 intelligence occult roll. And then the number of successes you get is how much blood you're allowed to store.
Okie dokie artichoke, thank you. I did that wrong, didn't I?
No, you did that. Oh, I mean, you did.
I did it in
I
the
think
opposite
you did it
numbers.
backwards. You did it backwards. Your dice pool is 8. Your difficulty's 5, but you switched to the right.
Go ahead and re-roll.
The manage that he got a success nonetheless is a good job there, pal.
Yeah.
The gods of luck are on your side today. Take this as you will.
I mean, all the other dice don't even match the 5, though, so it still only would have been 1 success. But yeah, go ahead. Make your re-roll of 8 dice at difficulty 5. There you go. That's a much better roll. So yeah, you can store up to 5 vitae
Yep, you
into
can
the
store up to
thing.
5.
Does that take directly from his blood pool?
Yes, it does. It's basically, it allows him to have a backlog so he could fill up containers of Vitae and fill himself up, and then always have these like spare. Oh no, I'm running low. Anyway, I'm good, guys.
Oh no, I need a snack break.
Also convenient for, hey guys, my retainer's gonna be going away for a month. So yeah, I need to go pay them real quick.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm gonna be actually dropping 4 then, since I got a success of 5. I figured, go a little big.
You're gonna need to go hunting soon.
Now, the only downside to this is you actually have to focus on drawing the blood out. Whereas there's actually a lesser version of this ritual where you take like a little stone or something and fill it with a single blood point, but then all you have to do is pop that in your mouth like a candy. This, you actually have to meditate on the stone to draw from it. But in return, it stores a hell of a lot more.
I mean, he's welcome to do that. He's got like
Well,
an hour before everyone else the last 2 wake up, and
predominantly while Cal's putting on a little fashion, so he's just gonna see Cyrus pull out a small bowl, a bottle of water, toss his ring into the bowl, bite his finger, and then a few drops of blood slowly start trickling in as time goes past. And then, he's just staring at the water, waiting as it slowly gets cleaner and cleaner, and the little ring starts to get brighter and brighter, ruby in hue.
how does Cal react to seeing this? Because eventually he'll walk out fully dressed in his nice
Yeah, I
casual
was.
outfit and seeing Cyrus playing with the bowl of blood.
So I'm just making sure I'm understanding this correctly. Do I just see him with a finger in a bowl full of blood?
What you're going to see is essentially him meditating over it, staring at it. It is becoming slightly clearer and clearer as time passes. Basically, the water is being consumed by the item in it.
That's a neat trick.
Is he seeing this? He'd be like, oh, so that's why they're called red mages.
Honestly, Loki. Yeah.
Abby is wise with her nicknames.
So I'll say I don't know if it says how long this ritual takes.
It does say it actually takes a full hour for it to take place because you're meditating, you're concentrating. Like, so I'm absorbed in the task at hand.
So, if in that case, by the time you've pretty much finished, Abby and Favana are waking up. Favana, now you can tell me where it is that she would have been sleeping.
Well, I imagine that I've been studying the books trying to decode this message. So I imagine I would have just not been paying attention and passed out on the desk, on top of the books. I'd probably wake up and have severe, like, you know, if I were at a computer, it'd be like QWERTY face. I'd wake
So,
up and I'd have like a dent of the book in my face.
so what's kind
And
of
I'm going to wake
funny?
up like, what's that?
So what's kind of funny is that quite literally is how it works. Is once the sun comes up, you kind of just go plop.
Yep.
So she
So I
probably
probably
didn't
would not have
even.
been paying attention.
Nope.
If I could drool, I probably would have drooled all over the desk.
She's just
But
like,
yeah,
she just looks like she probably got like shot in the back of the head at the desk. Is just like flopped there. Because you guys
yeah.
all look like corpses when you're asleep.
My hair's probably like all over the place.
Oh, I love it.
Probably just wake up and go, ouch.
There's a pen stuck to your cheek.
Yeah,
And like a
I have to
nice
like pry my
indent.
face off the book.
Nice little peel that comes with it.
Yeah,
Not too dissimilar to like what much less painful, but not too dissimilar to the effect of like when you're wearing shorts in a hot car and you just your legs
yep,
just peel off the leather. It's somewhat similar but much less painful.
yeah.
Love
So
it.
that would be how I would wake up.
And then Abby's just in the thinking man pose off in the corner.
Yep.
Did she do her ritual before going to sleep?
She didn't do it here.
Okay, I was just curious. Um so yeah, that's everybody waking up. Is there anything that Fovana and Abby want to do when they first wake up?
Uh, I'd probably need to change just because. Um, and I guess to be presentable, I guess I'd need to change and brush my hair. But I would literally go from t-shirt and shorts to other t-shirt and shorts. Just because that's it.
Valid.
Not gonna wear anything fancy.
You don't have anywhere fancy to go. It's fine. That you have planned anyway.
Abby would walk up to Cyrus, who's probably in the middle of cleaning up the ritual, and like do the little like light leg kick and go, "Ah, shucks, I missed the mumbo jumbo."
I mean, do you want to learn sometime, maybe? It's not like I'm not probably going to be stuck here for a while, and, you've helped us, I help you.
I'm still a novice.
Also, Cyrus, you would know that sharing thaumaturgy
Oh,
is like a big old no.
But
I have not had the
if
coffee
sharing
yet.
with a gargoyle who is allied to you is actually okay, the Tremere do consider gargoyles relatively unequal when it comes to the teaching of thaumaturgy, especially if they know it's going to be used to aid them.
Yeah, that's fair.
After all, they are
My, I
the ones
mean,
that made the gargoyles.
That's fair.
my marginal thought process was the ally that has more bullets in her gun is far more helpful.
I mean, that's not an incorrect thought process. But yeah, you guys all get up. Does Looney stay just kind of like huddled in the corner when she first gets up? Like
No,
from
she's whenever it is, when she's done getting dressed and done brushing her hair, she's just walking around now, and she's just acting like her entire attire didn't just change. She's just walking, showing her tattoos, showing that she's completely changed, and she's just not caring how they'll react.
So Abby will clap her hands on both of Ray's shoulders. Okay, I need to know. Are you with us?
What do you mean with us?
Well, yesterday you were kind of not with us. Are you with us? How is your brain? How is the Ray brain? And like Abby is like leaning in close, like looking really eye to eye. How is the Ray brain?
Had a nightmare. I can differentiate that this is reality. I'm fine. What?
Abby looks to the rest of the team. Progress!
Nice. Also, digging the new look. I'd see you're loosening up a bit.
At this point, I just might as well get the tattoo conversation out of the way. I've had these for years, so might as well just show them to you guys, because at this point, it's either that you're gonna rip one of my portions of my clothing off to get a wound down. If the wound is somehow something I can't heal.
Tattoos are tattoos. I've seen weirder. Turns and looks in a mirror.
Have you seen a man with male genitalia tattooed on his male genitalia?
So, like, one of these times I was sneaking into this person's house and, like, they were on the internet and, like, they looked up this thing called Puff the Magic Dragon. I've seen weirder.
All right.
Uh, I remember my old town. There was a guy we called Puff. Cool dude.
Yeah, it's still getting weird that I'm not wearing this dress at all. I'm not really a dress, like a two-piece. It's very weird, but it was one of the only clothes I was able to grab while we were in a rush, so. She just shrugs her shoulders after saying that, so she's like, eh.
You know what? That is fair. As we're in a bit of a hurry to get from point A to point B, but seems like we've got a little bit of downtime.
So should me and Favana take a look at the madman scribblings some more, maybe?
Go for it.
I
Intelligence
can
and academics, or
get
what shall we use?
Yeah, it's probably going to be in intelligence academics.
Ray. I'm gonna make a joke. Ray is going to suggest calling the hotel hotline to get some of them some blood, at least like a cup, just to drink. Just because it's a vampire hotel, they got this shit.
I like
I
that
would
she's
like
not
a
even
Bob
questioning.
Espresso, please.
I like how she's not even questioning how they may have gotten the blood. She's just like, ah, they got blood. We're just gonna take it.
I mean, as long as it's only 2 points from the host, it's okay. It's okay. Just only 2 points.
As long as it's not too much, we fine. But she starts to write down all of like everybody what they want, and then she points to Cal, being like, "What do you want?"
That is a good question. I haven't fed like this in a while, actually. I'm not very picky.
Oh, uh, sorry. ADHD brain. You said intelligence academics difficulty 6, right?
Yeah, base difficulty 6. Actually, no. The scribbling is kind of weird, and some of it looks very similar to other things, so I'll say base difficulty 7. And I don't think either of you have a military history, so
The counteractive,
Well,
ouch.
that's weird.
it does that sometimes. I don't really understand why. Go ahead and try again. Did you
Am
put
I doing it wrong?
Did you put commas?
It's not supposed to be a comma. Yeah,
Did you type in a comma?
I did.
There's no comma.
My fault.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out in my favor, I guess.
Yeah, it worked out.
And then, since they're working on this together, you can just consider it a teamwork role, and you just add it all together.
Yeah, I was planning to do that.
I love the fact that your roll was practically a straight.
Yeah, you're just missing a 6, but then the 6 wouldn't have been a success. But you know. But yeah. So in total, that would be 6 successes. And give me a little bit to kind of figure out, because I don't fully have planned out what all it said. So give me a little bit to figure out what to send you guys. But you definitely have figured out things.
Sweet. Sleeping on the book paid off.
Yay! She got all up
You-
close and
I learned
personal.
by
with you.
osmosis.
I was about to say that you absorbed the knowledge.
What you
Which,
guys translated is one page that says, "We have been trying to contact you about your course extended warranty."
which by the way, Jay, you still have a few abilities and attributes at 4 dots that you never gave um specialties to. Just FYI. At least not on my page that I have.
Me, myself, Jason?
Yes. I'm looking at the character sheet that I have, and either you didn't tell me or I forgot to put it down. That's possible too. But anything that has 4 dots gets a specialty as soon as it reaches 4 dots, and there's still some that are blank.
Well, let
Oh,
me
I
see.
might
I
have
may
to
have
do that
filled
for
them in.
one.
I might be missing something. Let me check. In intelligence, does that have one?
Anything that can go up to 4 dots that is an attribute or a skill gets a specialty.
Oh no, I'm asking. The ones that I'm looking on my sheet that I have things filled out, and I'm asking if there is something there on yours
Oh,
or not.
yeah,
Did I
on
put something in
mine.
intelligence?
Oh yeah, mine so the ones that do not have one. Actually, it'd be faster for me to tell you which ones do have one. The only one that I have a specialty for is your occult. Everything else is empty.
Oh, that's odd. Medicine should have been the holistic alternative.
Just write it down and send it to me, and I'll fix it. Um, until then, I will try to figure out what exactly the stuff says. What all exactly you figured out for that, because unfortunately that's one part that I was not fully prepared yet. Even though I fully expected you to immediately be working on it. That's my bad. Um, so you guys work on that. How long would you say you've spent doing that? How much of the night?
I feel like it's reasonable to think a minimum an hour. I don't know how much more we could
It's
say, but I feel like an hour minimum seems fair.
minimum, but I do think it probably took you a little bit longer. And there's still like a lot that you got
I
to
was
go
saying at the
through.
low point. I would like to I'm saying go above that, like at the lowest, but saying higher than like what do you think? 2 hours, 2.5, 3?
Yeah, I can accept 2 or 3.
Yeah, I would
During
assume
that
at this point
time,
we would
Ray
be
just brings the cup of
like,
blood to the both of them.
thank you.
No problem.
At at this point though, I would imagine that we would just be comparing notes too, right?
Yeah,
Because
probably.
like I'd been doing research on it, I guess.
Yeah, you had been doing a lot of research. Cyrus, I don't know what he probably was doing beforehand. Maybe he got wrapped up in Abby wanting to play games.
Hey, did you get X equals 23 for this one? I got Canada for that answer.
Burn
Preach.
biology, you two concern me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Right.
that question was true or false.
Really? I thought it was an essay.
No, but Cal's definitely my essay now.
Oh
Only
my.
one of us can be right. All right, so if it takes you guys about 2 or 3 hours and you guys are going through it, I know Abby was wanting to do something that she could potentially do then, or she could do it later. It's up to you.
I mean, on her docket of things, Abby still has to take Ray to see the other gangrel, but Ray was busy getting the blood orders for the uh, team. Which, by the way, if you want, you can have the blood orders actually restore 1 blood point.
Oh yeah, no, I was fully planning on it. So yeah, anyone who got a blood order can regain a blood point.
Ray ordered for everybody, so everybody gets a blood point.
Yeah. I realize I got way too excited.
Look, it's one less blood point you gotta stress over for right now.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. Even though it's just one, it's still one that has been replenished after we left it. But still, like now I can see is just Cal looking at the cup, like just looking at a cup of blood, and just screaming, just like slamming his hands on the desk and going, "Yeah!"
Nah, Cal isn't that bad. So Cal would have like swirled it in the cup for a second, and he wouldn't have made eye contact just yet, but just think. I ever tell you about one of my first nights when I got introduced to all this?
Ree's just sitting
I would
there
stare at
with
Calvin.
she would just stare at her
Oh,
Ah,
head
good.
because he's still getting used to having to drink it.
I
Well,
would
let me
stare
tell
at
you what
Calvin,
happened.
hold the glass, hold my pinky out, and sip.
Pinkies up. Gotta do the fancy drinking.
In hindsight, it was kind of funny, but at the moment, it was terrifying. See, I woke up and I was kind of hungry, but I hadn't had that part explained to me just yet. So Selena says she's gonna go grab something for me. In the meantime, I didn't know what that was. I didn't question it. I start making some food for myself, right? And even as I'm putting things together, it just didn't seem right. But I was hungry, so I figured that's all it was to it. I was halfway through the worst sandwich of my life when she walked in. Let me tell you, I had to check all the ingredients, checking expiration dates, all that. I thought something was wrong because it it tastes like someone just poured their grandmother's ashes straight into my mouth. I mean, of course,
Yum.
all that came back up later, but still, kind of funny to think about in hindsight.
Not only did it come back, but came back coated in blood.
Yeah. Man, the kind of concern that it took a lot of convincing for me not to immediately call the hospital.
Yeah,
So
whenever
I,
gets
I gotta
any side
ask,
effects to COVID.
since my girl has eat food, I imagine she had gotten a slice of bread just to see if she could taste, like how they're saying, like, oh, we could taste ashes or something. Is I gotta remember if eat food, are you able to taste blood-based food products?
Okay, so that just made me
I'm
remember
so
something.
confused.
Sketchy might have to retcon that because I'm pretty sure you have eat food on your character sheet, don't you, Sketchy?
So I figured that would have been something that he learned a little bit later, like after
So
that.
eat food's not really a learned thing. When you were turned, that's actually part of you. Like you were able to hold on to that part of your humanity that your taste buds didn't get nuked by the transformation.
So
All right,
Ray,
never mind. Pretend I didn't say a word.
I mean, you still
so
could have gone through with like the memory of it, and then your sire freaking out, and you're like, "But this tastes fine," and then later you puke it up, and you still have that concern.
Oh yeah, the panic could have come from when you heaped it up in like an hour or so. Because you actually have no control over that. There is no stopping that. It's coming up,
There's
guys.
There's no off button for it. It's just like real life. You don't tell to throw up when to come. It tells you when it's happening.
Wait, what the heck?
but yeah, Ray's just like she starts to peel off a little bit of the bread just to like place in her mouth to see if she could taste it, like the grains, the flour within it. She's just sitting there with bread in her mouth, just shutting
I'm not
herself
cleaning
up.
that up later.
Cyrus is just gonna ever so not very subtly, but gently use a trash can near her with his foot, just kicking it slightly in her general direction. They'll go closer.
Well, how
She'll
long does it
spit it
last? Like
out.
an
She'll spit
hour.
it out because she's just like, yeah, I didn't swallow it. I just placed it within my mouth.
And that's what the trash can is for. It's rude to spit pre-chewed food just on the floor.
It's also the other thing. I didn't chew it. She just had it soaked in her mouth, so she just spat it out.
So the best part
You
is
just got a
you don't even have
saliva-soaked piece of
saliva.
bread.
Yeah, so the best part is vampires don't even have saliva.
So it's
Basically,
just like
Ray would have put the bread
unfiltered
in her mouth and it would
bread.
have pulled out a dry piece of bread.
Wait, but
Yes,
they
it's just like
lick
straight up
wounds to
just
close, so there still have to be some kind of saliva.
My
There's
concept
no
was you're getting
it's
blood in your mouth,
there's a
which is wet anyway.
mysticism that comes with it, and to what Jay just said, technically you have fresh blood coating the inside of your mouth. That's probably where the moisture comes from.
Yeah, that's fair.
There are no fluids in a vampiric body besides that of Vitae.
Fair enough.
so yeah, she just drops that. She just drops the bread in the trash because how they were reacting, she was like, "Yeah, it's just gonna be thrown back up later." But she just looks at Cal, being like, "I am gonna ask you one thing." And she then looks at Cyrus and looks at Ivana and goes, "I tasted the grains. Could you?"
With the new
Nope.
retcon, with that new retcon to the story, Cal is going to say, "I tasted everything."
Abby, who had been
Eyebrow
pacing
arch.
who had been pacing around this whole time because she's kind of getting cabin fever, looks over. It's like, I don't remember what food actually tastes like. That's kind of depressing.
Anything with salt is going to be a lot more salty. I'll tell you that.
Ray will then just look at Abby, and without a second beat, she starts describing the texture. The texture of the bread was airy, but yet slightly dry. The grains scratched my tongue as if it was sandpaper. The crust itself was harsh, as if it was freshly baked 2 days ago. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Abby?
Abby has little understanding of all of those words you just said.
Do you remember like how sandpaper probably is like on your skin, if you can consider it skin?
Abby's skin is sandpaper, child.
That's
I
what she said.
assumed it was like a smooth, not quite polished, but still like a smooth kind of stone texture this whole time.
Abby is fine. We are fine. It's okay. Maybe
Abby is
one
Abby.
day I will be able to taste something other than blood, but not today and not in these few lifetimes.
Honestly, I would love to be there to see that sort of experience for you.
So would I.
Oh, what about the rest of you? Rest of you, anyone else remember their first couple of nights?
Well, I don't, not necessarily my first nights, but I always, even before I was turned, I had a problem with, well, let's just say I didn't like Italian food. I had an issue with garlic. That transferred over. It makes me very sick. So it got worse.
Oof, yeah, I've certainly been avoiding that stuff since. Man, like even when I was still human, I preferred like the kind of powdered stuff because like whenever you're trying to mince fresh garlic, the smell just sticks to your hands for so long, and you just wash them, but your hands are still gonna
Oh,
smell like that, you know?
you're making me sick just talking about it. The thought of it is not going well.
My sincerest apologies.
When Abby woke up after being turned, I was immediately put into a combat scenario to prove whether or not I was worth keeping around.
Oh, well, for what it's worth, I'm glad you're around.
And everyone I've ever fought is not glad that I'm around. And she like Herculean flexes for everyone.
Oh no, I think there's at least one sort. I think we know one guy that's happy after fighting you.
Oh well, okay, yes.
Squeak, squawk, scoop, what? Cal?
The
I'm
pit
working.
fights are a
Cal,
different
did you know
story.
he was a masochist? What?
No, no, I'm talking about good old Vic, the other bully. But you guys didn't get the chance to meet Vic.
We've only seen Abby fight one person, and he's lucky to have all four limbs still attached. Yes, we've never met this big person.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of Bruja pit fights. They're fun.
I have
Hello, hello,
questions.
people
Oh,
who have rated. Hello.
I'll be honest, I was not checking chat. I did not realize we got rated.
It's okay, it's okay.
I'm
Keep the
ignorant.
momentum
It's
What?
all
going. You
right.
guys were doing great.
Oh, you're doing great. Continue. I just wanted to so they know. I'm sorry.
That's why I type in chat.
Daddy.
So I have questions about the whole pit fighting thing. I don't want to participate, but I have questions.
I don't know. A couple of rounds with me to train up your combat capabilities. I think you could be a decent threat in the pit fights.
By all means, I am more than willing to train, but at the end of the day, I'm still just a humble bartender.
Kira, a humble blood rose, and you guys get really fast.
Man, I really want to see how far I can go with that. Like, do you know how well you can shake a cocktail if you're able to at move at these superhuman speeds? Like, like maybe if I could just get it dialed up to like at least a little bit above normal fast, that way it's not too suspicious. But man, the way I could get drink orders out would be so efficient.
Yeah, you just
The
can't
problem
let
is,
anyone see you do that, or I come knocking at your door.
Yeah, so I say it's just barely above normal human speeds.
the
Because
problem is if you shake it too hard and there's ice in the drink, you will actually melt the ice because of the speed you're going. So you'd probably not want to do that.
good point. That is another issue with shaking drinks or anything where you gotta drop ice into it.
Physics are a
Honestly,
bitch.
True, and if you shake it too fast, you will be like a scent or a fooge, and then you'll split all the stuff.
Or, he can hand make his own smoothies. Sorry, no one else was saying it. I had to say it.
no, that's actually a really good point, though.
We're going to be calling him Zoom from now on. Noted.
Oh, please
I
don't.
haven't thought of that movie in forever.
You said smoothies, and that was my first thought of Cal making his finger go brrrr, and then drink
Oh,
time.
that's right. I want to watch that movie now. Okay, continue.
Oh yeah, that was just the end of Cal's little his random thoughts on just being fast. Like he's really contemplating the applications of it.
He's now just daydreaming about all the things he can do at super speed and all the things he can't do at super speed. Just
All
because it
right,
would
there,
cause other
Flash.
issues. This being said, I've got 2 questions here. You guys are more than welcome to continue having more conversation. This is your downtime. You guys are not going to get anything new for this night. I will go ahead and tell you guys that much. Um, Nothing that drives the plot forward anyway. Outside of when I finally figure out what to put for the notes to give Favana and Cyrus. Um, 2 people were wanting to train with Abby, and Abby also
Yes.
wanted to take Ray to see the other Gangrel. Which one do we want to do first?
No, no, no.
It's
We
up to
probably do
y'all.
the training first.
Do the training first? Okay.
All right, session one of Abby's gym.
Which
Who's going with who? Like, it's like who's going?
That's true. I mean, it's open invitation. Anyone can train with Abby.
it's
Cal
also
is definitely taking up that offer.
Yeah, I'm going as well.
Ray is sitting back on this. Ray does not want to try it. She feels like her abilities right now. She's taking too much on her plate. A little more, she might tumble.
I mean, she does not have to use her powers, her claws. It's just exercising. It's to
You
get
could
your
just go and
attributes
hang
up.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just sitting on the sidelines hanging out. She's just gonna sit.
What's Cyrus doing? Is he going to be all by his lonesome, or is he going to go watch and or join? They didn't really get a downtime for Cyrus.
I think for now I'm just going to watch because I'm not certain what to do for real with my downtime just yet.
That's fine. That's fine.
So, Abby, you're the coach here. What's the plan? We swinging on a bag, lifting weights, or are you just gonna beat the crap out of us today?
Hmm. Oh, I have ideas. However, we will have to go to the Abbey. It is secluded, and mass amounts of violence will be well hidden within the trees.
Ooh, actually, you know what? Don't tell me. I want this to be a surprise, and I feel like it's gonna be amazing.
All right, I will meet you all at the Abbey. And with excitement, Abby will actually go over to one of the windows of the hotel room that we're all in, and I'm pretty sure this is the top floor.
Oh yeah.
So she just walks over, opens the window. She's like, "And the Abbey is over that way," and just jumps out the window.
Oh, thank God! I thought she was gonna break the window.
No, she.
Cyrus would just look at him like, "That's so disrespectful to gargoyles are smart." Not saying it, if you just look at him like gargoyles are way smarter than that. How dare you even think such a thing?
So I would like to say canonically that that has happened once before, and Big Dog made Abby work to pay for it, and so she opens the windows every time before jumping out.
Tiptoe by the window.
Like with any toddler that you have to give them consequences for their actions. Pretty child, really.
And Abby really is just a 5'3" megaton level child. Y'all haven't seen it yet, but she does have a temper.
Excellent.
We all do. Or the monster inside of us just really wants to lash out at times.
Nah,
It
son,
don't like
she's
being
got the
locked up.
flaw that means she has a temper.
Ooh, fun.
But yeah, so she told you all to meet her at the Abbey and that she would be there waiting.
Alrighty.
She doesn't have traffic lights with how she travels.
So, are we walking? Are we getting a car? What are we doing here?
Wait, how far are we from the Abbey?
By the way, Cyrus, since you finally gave me your retainer, you can use them.
I feel like it'd be nice to have a car conveniently waiting for us, if that is okay to request that.
Yeah, you've got. Oh, she doesn't have drive. This just means she technically can drive, just you don't want her in any high speed chases. By the way, guys, one rule that listening to another B20 podcast reminded me that it existed that I'm still undecided if I'm gonna implement it or not from the future, but I might. If you don't have a skill that makes the difficulty go up by 1.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say
like,
that seems fair.
yeah, so like for example, say you're in a fight and you decide like, "Oh, I'm going to take this gun here and I'm going to shoot it." But you have no dots in firearms. That difficulty 6 goes up to difficulty 7.
Weak.
So, I'm thinking that seems valid enough, and if it's a thing that you find yourself doing a lot, it gives you the motivation to put a point in it.
Seems good.
So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna start doing from implementing from this point forward. Um, is you don't have that skill and you have to use it. It's difficulty's going up, baby. But yeah, no, you can absolutely call your retainer and be like, "Hey, we need you to come pick me up, pick all of us up, get a nice big car that fits like a 1, 2, 4 people, normal car. Just 3 people in the back seat. And then once you give her that phone call or text or whatever, she'll be there within like 20 to 30 minutes.
Just send it'll be a quick text message while this is all going on with the discussion of garlic hands and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, so you send out that text and she will text back with just a I'm here. Do you want me to stay in the car or do we need to come in and meet you guys?
I will just let her know we'll be down in a few, and then I'll be letting them know, guys, our ride is here. We can go now.
All right, people, we do not know
All
what's
right.
waiting us, so might want to gear up for this one.
Ray does get like a jacket to cover up her outfit, just to at least be, slightly appropriate for the night. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if she can't feel the temperature. She wants to at least be appropriate. But no, she's not getting shoes. Just to make that clear, she's still not getting shoes.
Ray has an aversion to shoes.
I assume, or excuse me. I assume I have a purse, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw my gun and knife in there. So that'll work. No one will suspect.
9 millimeters getting tucked into the waistband. Uh, Probably gonna be doing something similar with the combat knife on the opposite side. And as I'm looking at as I'm holding the shotgun, Cal's just sitting there thinking, yeah, I might need to do a little bit of shopping after this.
Gotta figure out how to store all this stuff. Start looking into trench coat.
Gotta look into holsters. Ooh, ooh, holsters, trench
I,
coats.
The red mage has gears turning in his head when he's thinking about storing things.
You wanna know the funny
I
thing? Oops, sorry.
I pat Calvin on the back as I walk by. Don't shoot anything off in your pants there. You might need it. I don't know.
I saw that movie too.
So you guys are all
That was
making
all.
these little comments as you walk out of it, like
All
go
right,
into the elevator to
it's
the bottom
Texas. They
floor.
got open carry laws, right?
I keep forgetting to push to talk. Uh, I don't know about modern day. Hold on, we're gonna Google that real quick because
I
this
think you
is
would
modern
still need
day.
a permit.
Oh yeah, no, you absolutely need a permit, but
As long as we go straight to the car, I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, I'm just gonna be openly toting the shotgun because I don't have anywhere else to put it. But I
In
might
the
need it.
in in the
oh
worst Arnold impersonation ever, get to the sedan.
oh, apparently Texas is actually quite loose with this.
Yeah, that was the reason there was actually dildos on college campuses during that time. They do not care anymore.
Yeah, so the quick Google search and the first thing that popped up, not doing any further research than this, the very first sentence is as of 2021, people who qualify under the law can carry a handgun in a public place in Texas without a license to carry.
Yep, once you achieve
Yeah, that's
21
why you
years
had a
of
bunch of
age, you
people.
have permitless carry.
Yeah, that's why you
Oh
had a
yeah, I'm
bunch of
good.
people at at a Chipotle down there, fully armed because they had the right to do it.
I hadn't heard about that. And that's
Oh
wild
yeah.
to me. It's
Well,
one
never mind.
hand, it's not surprising because it's Texas, but it's still wild to me.
It became news because they weren't allowed in. Because the right to carry is also trumped by the business's right to refuse. So that's why it became news.
That's upsetting. Anyway, um, so yeah, you guys holster all your guns and weapons and put them in your pocket because you don't have proper holsters. Uh, and head into the elevator, go down to the bottom floor, out the lobby, and into the car. Where why don't you describe your retainer for us, Jay? Hello.
Good talk.
You still there?
You might have forgotten to push.
Still here, just sudden yips.
Just sudden what?
A quick term for performance anxiety.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, that's
You
fair.
can
I
give,
get that.
if you do not have a
No, it's there. It's just
description
for
in
some
mind,
reason. No, the description is on the character sheet. Is for some reason the yips suddenly hit me and just the woohoo.
would you like me to describe her?
Sure.
All right. So you guys approach the car, and within the driver's seat, you see a what looks like a young woman, like late 20s, um, in the driver's seat. She has brown hair that's tied back in a ponytail, blue eyes. Um, she's white. You can't really tell her height from within the car. Um, oh, wait, you have the full description. I see blue eyes that seem to pierce straight to the soul. Well, not the most eye-catching of beauties, her height and charming personality far overshadow the vanity. So she's like average in appearance. And she just kind of rolls the window down and just goes, "Good evening. I'm taking everybody here, I guess, sir."
Yeah, it'll be all of us.
She nods her head and unlocks the door and lets everyone climb in. Once everybody is in and all buckled up. So where is it that I'm heading? Note anybody can speak to tell her this thing.
Uh, well, we're heading to Abby's Abbey, which I believe is here. And I would go ahead and I guess give them the closest address that Abby would have given us,
Yes, and
from
Pavana,
what we
you
remember from before.
yes, and Pavana, you would recognize this person because this is the ghoul that drove you guys all the way here in the first place.
Ah, gotcha.
And you would know that her name is Val. Um, she nods her head, "Yes, ma'am," and starts driving. And it takes, I think I said like 30 minutes, so like 30 minutes to get there. A lot of things are within 30 minutes. Texas is a big state.
It
So
is.
I'm just asking, just for continuity. The other times when we've asked for a ride from the prince, it was a different person driving. And like I know, like I as a player know that this chick doesn't work for the prince, but Cal as a character doesn't know.
Yeah, the person. So you've only had the prince drive, one of the prince's like ghouls or retainers drive you once before. Other times you've Ubered. Um, and when you've Ubered, it's just been a plain human. Hasn't worked for anybody within the supernatural society. It's just someone who's taking all of the really late shifts, assumingly probably gets a lot of drunk people. Um, that's my head canon anyway. Um, the one time so far that you have gotten a ride by someone that worked for the prince was a man that Abby forced a handshake onto.
The secret handshake. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So this is
The
definitely a
one that was
different
made up on the
person.
spot.
Yep. This is definitely a different person than that. For one, this is a woman, whereas that was a man. um yeah, I guess Cal wouldn't know if she works for the prince or not.
You know what? Good point. So, like, as far as everyone else is concerned, this is just a regular ass person who's not like really in the loop.
I mean, she at least seems to recognize somebody. Like, she seems to recognize Cyrus and Fovana, as she's addressed them directly.
So, is this like a side job, or do you like work for these two?
I work for Mr. Cyrus. I'm
The
the
way
one.
he's rummaging through the car and, going through the glove box and so forth, it's very clear that he was in this car before, and he's kind of like looking at Kyle like, "Did you not know this was our car?"
To be fair, you guys haven't used this before. You never called up this ghoul to take you anywhere.
Plus, you
He
guys
called me
pretty much.
socially awkward. I'm gonna be rude for the next 48 hours. Gosh darn it!
I mean, you guys did kind of just get to town the other day, right? I got no
That
way of
is
knowing
true.
what. Like, you guys just got to town the other day. I don't know who's on your payroll. I don't know what kind of stuff you have. I don't even know the full extent of the stuff you guys can do.
Like, I just met you 2 days ago. You're still basically
Isn't that
strangers.
fun?
Sorry, all I thought it was who's on your payroll. Give me 30 minutes and you will be too soon.
Oh, trust me, you couldn't afford me.
Is this conversation all going on, like, canonically as she's driving you guys?
I feel like if I could, I still wouldn't because your sire scares me and not in the way most things that go bump in the dark scare normal people.
Really? Why is that? Why does she scare you?
How about you tell me why she's not scary?
He seems to like it for a moment after hearing that question. It's like his mind kind of drifts for a moment, and you can see that like there's a bit more genuineness to that smile that he carries. She carries a lot of kindness in her heart. At least that's how she's been with me. So for me, no, she's not scary. Far from it.
Ray would just put a thumbs up because she's now just coming out from like zoning out the entire trip. She's just not trying to get anybody's nerves peeved.
That's not to say that she's harmless. 'Cause, let's be honest, none of us are harmless. The longer we are, the longer we exist and use our abilities, then the better at it we get. She's been at it for longer than me, but she never really held that over me.
Well, given your stature and her stature, it'd be very hard for her to hold much over you, so that's fair.
For fun, I'm gonna enjoy hanging out with you.
The white guy's been adopted. Let's go.
There's. Are you calling me short?
No, why would I ever call you short? I would use a much wider verb, such as diminutive or teeny tiny.
Vertically challenged, perhaps?
Remember the last time I punched you?
No, because you didn't punch me. You always stab. I'm not that stupid to forget that.
Hmm. Good.
I wonder what my
You
motif will
remember.
be at this point.
Cyrus will literally rub on his one left side where there might or might not be a former knife wound.
Just remember that. And now I'm going to work out too. I'm going to be able to stab more efficiently.
This is one of the many reasons I learned to heal more efficiently.
See, I'm just helping you train. Can't heal something unless something's injured.
How many times have you been stabbed?
I've lost count.
Hmm. Sounds like you live a rather exciting life. Holding out on us?
Look, Dad trained somehow.
Yes, hell, that is true. But hey, that's why we're heading out.
Would you like to volunteer to help him train?
Nope.
Uh,
Are you sure?
but look, I might be dressed casually, but I'm not exactly eager to get holes put in my clothes or in my
I could,
body, for that matter.
like, Ray shrugs and she just goes, I could kind of jump into the training. You've never really fought a Gringriel, and I would be kind of a novice. We could both train. I could, and if you don't feel comfortable, I could just probably
Perhaps.
scratch a tree.
That does make I'm wondering for everybody here, was last night the first time you fought a fellow kindred?
Fought and won? Yes. Fought? No. First time was not such a good time.
In a different life, that would have been a great story to have over drinks.
Still can tell it sometime. Still can tell it sometime.
Now I just imagine you guys going to meet up for drinks and it's just you guys with like a human in front of you with their necks all splayed with little bite
There
marks
was
in them,
casually
casually
I
telling
imagine that.
war stories.
I imagine that weird episode of like Star Trek where Data is dreaming and people have straws coming out of their head.
yeah, and then I got thrown through a wall.
I love it, yes. But yeah, with that, I'm assuming that you guys are either out of ideas for conversation or would like to just skip forward a little bit. So we will, unless you have what's the word? Unless you say otherwise.
I've
Uh,
successfully threatened to stab everyone again. I think my
yay!
job is done.
Yay!
It just
Successfully threatening to stab people.
You haven't threatened to stab Ray, and that's the funny part.
But she hasn't not
You agreed to
threatened
be
it.
stabbed, apparently.
Yeah, she just kind of shrugged because she was just like, "Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time."
You guys think me being like turned and forced to murder people was the only traumatic incident I've had within my life? Nah, I've been stabbed.
Crying blood, getting stabbed. Apparently being normal for her.
We have other things to worry about for Ray.
Yeah,
Just a
she's
normal
got more.
Tuesday.
Especially now since she looks pretty now. She just, now she look pretty. She look pretty now.
She's just embraced her inner self. She's like, you know what? If I'm gonna live forever, might as well live it the way I want to instead of trying to meet societal norms.
She's finally now also kind of felt comfortable with the group to show her tattoos, which are all over her body.
Trauma bonding does that for people. So anyway,
And
you
then we
guys
get
pull
the
up.
food.
You guys pull up a little bit later, in front of Abby's Abbey. Maybe slightly off at the distance, and Val just speaks up. Would you like me to park nearby, or where do you want me?
Uh, Guys, what do you think? Park nearby?
Park nearby,
I
so
think,
in case we were followed.
yeah, I think that would work well.
Should I stay in the car?
That'll work out fine, yeah. Just stay in the car. We shouldn't be that long, I don't believe.
Yes, sir. And she'll go find like an empty parking spot and just park once you guys all get out.
I meant to ask this earlier, but like I know that her eyes were described as like an icy blue, but like does she appear to have any kind of life in her eyes, or does it just look like she's kind of like running on autopilot perpetually?
She looks human, if that's what you're asking.
Not exactly. Like more so like does she seem like normal, or is it one of those things where like there is something that was done to her mind that is
So,
ethically questionable?
so you haven't so far. Mm, why don't you make me a wits empathy roll to see what you can gather from her?
All right, and what's the difficulty on that?
Base difficulty 6.
That is 4 successes.
So she doesn't seem like she has been manipulated mentally. She's not like dead inside or anything. Um, any sort of mental manipulation is just the side effects of a ghoul's bond.
This might not be Telltale Games, but just like imagine like a little thing in the top corner going, Calvin will remember that.
So will she, and so will Cyrus, as they both have idyllic memories.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to go over all of her character yet, but I do remember us talking about her a little bit. Um,
Yeah, sorry about
yeah,
that.
another, oh,
I was
that's right. Another detail I forgot to add for her physical appearance is she does in fact wear glasses that she's constantly pushing up.
gotcha.
Yeah, other than that, Um, so yeah, once you guys are all out, she goes to park and just kind of wait. If you look at her, she kind of pulls out her phone just to kind of play on it while she waits. Ooh, no,
How
actually,
many
what would
dings you got on
probably.
that phone?
I mean, yeah, some.
Nice.
Gotta
Gotta
kill
have
time
something to
somehow.
do.
Yeah, gotta kill time somehow. If I'm stuck in a
Yeah,
car for
exactly.
who knows how long tonight.
I
Yeah,
will
you
ask.
guys
I'm going to ask one thing.
go ahead.
Wait on, let me get my little sheet because this is gonna get fun. Can I have the ability for Ray to just, because mediums are obviously spirits and all that shit? Can I find for her a spirit to talk to?
Find for Ray to talk to a spirit?
Yep, just to hang out with one, just to be like, hey, yo, spirits, I'm here to just vibe. Let me talk.
Spirits, it's your girl.
Yeah, sup, it's a girl. I am the one that you somehow managed to just, deal with my bullshit.
Alright, I'll make a note later to make a ghost generator. For now, I'm gonna say no.
Man, you forget me. There's this bunch of woods. There's not even animal spirits. Well, can she at least have animals to talk to? She's bored.
There's animals walking, or like wild animals that just kind of wander around, like stray cats and stuff.
Can she try petting one of the kitties? Can she try petting one of the kitties?
You have animalism, don't you?
Yeah. They get a little animalism. I want her to pet the kitty cat.
Then yeah, she's not. It's not gonna immediately run away from you. Then
Yay! She's gonna pick up a kitty cat and she's just gonna sit down and pet it. She's just gonna look all happy, just
okay,
having a
that
cat
one is
moment.
gonna take a charisma, animal handling or animal kin.
Okay, so all right. So charisma, and animalkin. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would be 6 dice and the difficulty.
Base of 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The kitten. The cat seems hesitant to let you pick it up, but it allows you, and then it's like very gently purring as you hold it and pet it.
She is a gentle. She is very gentle. She might be chaos in the store, but she is very gentle with small, tiny children. She is very gentle.
So you take this cat into Abby's Abbey, and as well as everyone else, just holding and petting the cat, and then you and Cyrus find. Well, first off, what within the last like 30 to 40 minutes, what has Abby set up? How does she greet them when they come up to the Abbey?
So, the car pulls up. They get out. They start heading to the Abbey, and then you guys hear Abby call to you from the other side of the building. It's like, guys, I'm back here.
Well, I think that's our cue. And
Yeah,
Right.
I
Right.
guess we better get in there.
Then she's just keeping the cat with her as she walks inside.
So you guys make your way out back and uh, in what would be considered the backyard of the abbey are three limply uprooted and replaced trees kind of in like, here's your punching bag lineup kind of thing. Uh, I don't think I emphasize enough when I say, uprooted tree and moved from its original location to this new location. But you don't quite see Abby just yet.
All right.
Well, that's a pity. I actually like to see trees.
Uh, After a little bit, Abby will step out from behind one of the replanted trees, and she's wearing well worn, definitely not her size military fatigues, and the shirt, which would be buttoned down, is actually backwards so that the button down part can be used to make room for her wings. So it looks goofy as sin. And she comes out, arms behind her back, and just staring at you guys with as much of a serious look as she can muster.
What's up there, Major Granite?
Did you steal from a fucking veteran?
Actually, I stole from a surplus store. They're all over the place in Texas.
Oh, thank God.
Anyway, welcome to Abby's Boot Camp, where I'm going to teach you the ABCs of CQC. Line up, soldiers.
The what with the what?
I mean, basics on close quarters combat.
Ah, okay.
And I'm assuming it's just Cal and Bovano.
Got any ground rules that we're going to be following, or is it just whatever happens, happens here?
Well, first, I'm going to teach you how to throw some punches. As for
Alrighty.
rules, I didn't really come up with any. Just if we spar, don't kill the sparring partner. That's mostly for me.
Sounds good.
Anyway, tell me now what it is you want to focus on. And I obviously hope that it's something that I can teach you.
I'm a fan of the stabbing and punching.
I can work on the punching and how to make your stabs stronger.
Excellent.
Works for me. Let's do it.
All right. First, we work on the punches. And she's going to immediately like pivot and throw a punch and like blow a chunk out of one of the trees.
Go ahead and make a strength roll, Abby.
Absolutely.
Does the tree roll to dodge? I'm kidding.
No, it's an inanimate stationary object. It cannot dodge.
Could it
It's
not
gonna
fall over?
You could not fall over, depending on how this roll goes. I don't have high hopes for the tree.
Okay, so you want me to do the whole kit and caboodle, do Dex Brawl, and then roll damage after that?
Yeah, that's right. It's a dex brawl first, and then strength. Strength brawl?
It would be strength plus overages.
Okay. I will remember how this game works eventually.
How does melee get used?
If you're wielding a
Nice.
melee weapon, it would be a dex melee, and then depending on the melee weapon would determine strength or dexterity. If you're doing a knife, I
So
would still
melee
put that
would
as
be
a
like,
dex.
gotcha.
Melee is any kind of stabbing, slicing, poking implement.
Or,
Uh,
like a
Sweet.
bat, so then it could be like blunt.
I picked correctly then.
uh, and I don't know if you would put Vicious on this as she's just going full clobber into the tree, but if Vicious does count, that's 10 successes of damage.
It depends. Is she trying to be vicious? Is she
Oh
holding
shit!
back?
She just wants to obliterate this tree to show she's flexing.
Oh, so if she's not holding back in the slightest, you can
No,
add vicious to this.
she's not holding back.
Okay, so yeah, that's 10 successes, and not only does the tree just splinter, but like there's a good Abby-sized fist just straight through it. And it's like it's creaking until it like falls to the ground.
Yeah, you're not expecting us to do that on day one, right?
Suppose not. Victor can do it. No, I don't expect you guys to
All
be
right.
able to blow through an entire tree in one night. But I can get you.
All right. So, which tree do you want us to try to punch here?
Uh, Points to the two that are still left standing.
Alrighty.
Abby wasn't exactly expecting to obliterate that tree, but she wasn't exactly holding back.
I guess I
So
would take my chances trying to punch the tree.
so yeah, go ahead and make a dexterity brawl at a +1 difficulty, so difficulty 7. Since you do not have
This is gonna be
dodge and
great.
brawl.
And she will be
Yeah.
coaching everyone this entire time, like, pivot, put your body into it, she's actually showing people how to punch, not just like, hit this tree, guys. No, she's actually like going through the movements with everyone.
Oh, so she's not just watching to see like how they do first and then to coach?
No, she's
Awesome.
coaching. That's what
All
they're
right,
here for.
so
Okay,
we
well,
said
if in that case, if she is coaching them through it, I will put it at a -1 difficulty. So, Fobana, that cancels out for you. I think that also cancels out for Calvin. I don't think he has Brawl.
yeah, I was about to ask like so it's Dex and Brawl for swinging on a tree.
Yeah,
Yes.
but base difficulty 6 since Abby is helping, so you don't get that penalty for not having the skill.
So since that is Dex related, am I slapping celerity on top of this?
Yes.
Okay.
You certainly can.
I went from a botch to a failure. Apparently, I missed the tree.
No, I'm not going to say that you missed the tree. But you punch it and you're just like, ow, 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 ow,
You had your
ow,
wrist bent.
ow, ow, ow.
You just hear, fool! Your wrist was not properly locked in position! You punch like this! Poof!
She just one punches the air.
And I just want you all to know that in the background, Ray is just sitting down, having this happy looking smile on her face, just holding a cat.
um, as yeah, and then Calvin, you punch the tree, and you're just like, oh, that actually knocked off a bit of bark. That wasn't bad.
I mean, he would still technically have to roll damage now.
That's true. So strength, just flat strength.
It'd be
Alright,
strength plus 2 because it'd be a success overages. So the 3 successes he rolled
Should
to
I?
hit, one gets
No,
spent.
because you technically did not hit. I only say you hit because it's a stationary object. It's just you did so little damage that you like more likely splintered yourself instead.
So
Well, I
Cal,
was
for you,
gonna
it'd
say,
be
should I
strength
try
plus
to
2.
swing again?
You can. You're more than welcome to try to swing again. There you go.
Yay!
You
Yes.
fixed your limp wrist.
Heed
That
Abby's words of wisdom.
your knuckles still feel a bit raw from that. You're not used to punching things. You're used to books, not hitting things with your fist. And if you are hitting things, it's with a knife. Um, so like the knuckles are still a little sore. Same with you, Calvin. But the hit felt a lot better. It hurt significantly less.
Then how should I do the strength? I forgot what it was.
It's a just roll flat strength.
Well, they also get overages for their success to hit. So, like
Oh,
with
so they add the dice to it?
so with Cal, he rolled 3 successes to hit. One of those successes is spent to actually make contact. The other successes get added to the damage roll.
Okay, so in this case with Fovana, it's plus 1 dice.
Correct.
Got it. So yeah,
So-
strength plus 1 minus 1 success that you have.
So it's
Okay.
strength plus 1 additional success.
+1.
And then for
Cal,
Calvin,
And he
it's
said-
plus 2.
So does that mean I'm
Standard
rolling
diff.
2 more dice?
Correct. So instead of your 2 dice, you're rolling 4.
Lucky for you, ones don't take away from damage.
So yeah, you guys punch it and you made contact and you didn't do nearly as much damage to this tree that as Abby did, and the punches still looked incredibly weak to her. But you made contact, your form was pretty good. It's a good start.
It would be amazing if we were actually just regular humans.
Yeah, no, like you've managed to punch off a good chunk of bark, both of you. So like your knuckles are going to be looking raw by the end of this though.
Yeah, I imagine so. But that's part of the fun, ain't it?
Lucky for you guys, it'll heal and you'll have your perfectly smooth baby soft hands by the next night.
Sweet.
So looking at Fovana, who after failing the first attempt came in and technically did more damage than Cal, Abby puts a hand on her shoulder and says, "By the time I'm done with you, you will no longer be Fovana, you will be Swolvana." I've been holding
Alright.
on to that all fucking day. I've been holding on to that all day.
And that is perfectly fine. That was clever.
I love that. That was great. I was laughing in the background. You guys couldn't hear me though because I didn't have push to talk on.
And Abby will look at you guys. All right. When you're satisfied hitting the tree, I want you guys to hit me.
But I don't want to hit you.
That's not gonna be a good idea, Abby. No, no, they're going to break their hands.
I mean, you've been very nice to me this whole time. I feel really bad about it.
You gotta try. Hitting a tree is one thing. Striking another kindred, now that's difficult. A lot of us are damage sponges.
I noticed.
Without questioning, I just try to punch.
Uh, yeah, I'll say Abby would not be dodging. But I feel like you just grazed off of her wing. But Abby looks at you. That's the spirit.
Or once again, better yet, she still hit, but you barely felt it.
There's a twinge of pain in Fovana's wrist.
It's like, that spirit, but fix that limp wrist. You did it again.
Yes, it's gotta keep firm. Although you're probably the stabby type.
He
I mean, the
goes
wrist still
three
needs
sec-
to be firm when you stab.
True, there's a bit that goes into blade work. That I'm not gonna start rambling about right now. But yeah, there goes I guess 3 successes on a swing.
Are you punching the tree or Abby?
I'm gonna swing at Abby. I don't. I'm gonna feel bad about it, but she seems
Yeah.
enthusiastic.
Yeah, go ahead and make your strength roll +2. So another 4 dice.
All right, and then Abby rolls to soak.
And she's going to take absolutely no damage.
So I don't even technically have to soak because this is bashing, and that'll get divided by 2 rounded down anyway. But yes, you hit her, and you know you made contact. It was a firm, solid hit, and like nothing budges under your fist. She gives you a thumbs up.
For Favana, it felt like, or not for Favana, for Abby, it felt like when a little bug just kind of hits you, like flies into you, it just bounces off. Except the size of a human fist. It was a big bug.
Yep, you get a thumbs up and
A
good
Texas
form.
bug.
So you're just okay with us swinging on you full force?
Was that full force? She points at your fist.
Grace is while she's like looking at this, and she just goes, "Ooh, he insulted your strength."
You know what? I haven't really gotten really opportunities to find out.
I assume that's Fovana taking another swing while Abby's insulting Cal.
Yeah.
Well, the hit lands, and it would be strength +1.
If any of these hits were like doing any actual damage, I
Oh
just
my god.
imagine it would look like that scene from
I did it
Civil
again.
War
No
where
commas, just
Cap
faces.
and Bucky were just tag teaming the shit out of Iron Man is what I imagine would look like if we were actually doing any damage.
Ooh, nice. You have a decent strength, don't you?
Yeah, surprisingly, the nerd has a surprising amount of strength.
She's got some sick abs under that t-shirt.
So Abby ends up soaking 3 of that, and then the last one gets hacked and taken down to 0. But that was a solid strike, and she looks at you. My, you are deceptively strong. You are already steps away from Swolvana. I like it.
Thank you.
Now
I
it's
practice
time
my
to
statting and I take it seriously.
now it's time to deadlift this tree. And Abby goes to pick up the tree that handed to you.
I will say that I did take another swing, and that is like 4 successes.
So you
Nice.
definitely hit. That's another strength, but now it's a +3. So that's 5 dice.
And while you're swinging at Abby, Abby is basically like half tossing this full ass tree to Fovana, going, "Catch!"
Walker, catch!
I
Do I
guess
have to roll
this
to catch?
one, yeah, strength. I'm gonna say
Okay.
strength athletics.
Abby gracefully soaks that punch. I feel like you're swinging at her side while she's eating the tree at Fovana. And she's like, huh? Huh? Oh, hey, Cal.
What's up?
What's really funny imagining this too is she's so much shorter than Cal.
Oh man, so that means yeah, he would actually have to be aiming down.
She's 5'3", where Cal is 5'11". I want you guys to refer back to the height chart that Jay so graciously made. Oh, which I think he left early.
Yeah, he had to step out. He was falling asleep.
Cyrus is just chilling in the car along with what was your name? Val?
Yeah, he's probably reading.
Val the valet. Heck yeah.
So technically, success-wise, Fovana can in fact catch the incoming tree. Now it's to roll your strength to see if you can hold it up.
Oh, so I just do straight strength roll again?
So it would be
Or,
straight
well, before was
strength.
strength and athletics.
Well, so that was the catch. It. This is to basically maintain a massive log in your hands to keep it from like, just
Okay.
hitting the ground or flattening you. So
Okay.
Did you do this at a +1 difficulty? She's not coaching you.
well, this was athletics.
Oh, no, I did not.
Does she not have athletics?
No.
Oh,
I don't have that either.
okay. So yeah,
I
you
can
would have
reroll.
zeroed out on successes because technically the diff would have just been 7.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to remind of that.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Okay, so I didn't catch it. It just falls on me.
Yep. Fofana gets logged.
She's stuck under this tree. She's like, ah!
That's
Well, I didn't
it.
catch it, but does that mean I can try to lift it off me now?
Yes, you technically could.
Okay.
It would likely be a strength athletics check.
That's what I was gonna say. It was. It's another strength
And
athletics.
there are some interesting mechanics that can be done here. So by her strength alone, she would not be able to deadlift this tree. There is a roll that can be made to temporarily increase your strength.
Or she could spend blood.
She can also spend blood. You can spend 1 blood point, if I remember your generation correctly, 1 blood point per round to increase any of your physical attributes by 1. You're allowed to go 1 above your generational threshold, which is 5 for all of us. If you go any higher than that, it degrades at 1 per round. Also, there is a rule for rolling willpower to temporarily augment your strength. It's the burning car woman needs to tear the door off to save her child scenario, where somehow they get the strength of a freaking god and tear the door off its hinges.
Hmm.
Just gonna see where that is.
Good old adrenaline rushes.
Yee.
There's so much strength words in this book. Alright, getting closer. Oh. Oh, lifting breaking is just strength. Ah, here it is. The following chart provides the minimum strength needed to deadlift various weights or break objects without a die roll. So technically, there's actually no roll involved in this. So you could spend a blood point to temporarily buff your strength. Essentially, you would need to get it to 7. So at this point, the adrenaline rush rule would be you would roll willpower at difficulty 9, and each success makes your strength count as 1 higher, and you would need to get it to 7.
Okay, so I do willpower.
Yeah, and are you spending the 1 blood point to buff your strength first? Because this will lower the amount of successes you need.
We're gonna try it without.
Okay. So it's willpower diff 9.
You... Okay, well. That's a fail.
I will be right back, though. Got the bathroom text from the roommate.
All right, we'll make this a quick bathroom break for everybody. That being said, we are going to wrap up here pretty soon.
Okay, sounds good.
And we will continue the rest of the downtime next week.
Alrighty.
And we'll say that, like, by then is when Fovana and Cyrus was able to look at the notebook, and I'll have sent you and Cyrus both something about what it says by next week.
Sounds good. I'm just resting under the log.
That's a lot of dice for a lot of fans.
I'm not going anywhere.
Just pushing against it, like, nope, not budging. All right, well, I guess I'm here now.
This is my life now. My
life. Even as you force your blood through your muscles to enhance it and all that fun stuff to make yourself stronger. Like, you could feel yourself becoming stronger, and still you're not quite getting there.
I just imagine, like, if this was a botched roll, then it would be like, you know how sometimes weightlifters put too much on and accidentally end up defecating on themselves?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
It's a good thing that you guys don't need to defecate.
That is also a good point. I love how, like, among all the things that our characters say that we miss, I said, I miss being able to use the bathroom like a normal person. I didn't realize that I took it for granted.
But on the bright side, you never have to feel constipated.
That is true.
You never have to worry if you're eating too much fiber or not enough.
Do you need the potty, hon?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, look, that is a scary feeling because it's like
She tried to.
It also
tried to deadlift the tree yet again.
might also keep you from being that hungry. And if you like food, then that is torturous.
All right, I am back.
Yeah, Fafana failed to lift the tree. She had a lot of dice and did not get a single success, so it didn't even budge. She's stuck.
Oh, well, that was the fail for the adrenaline, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't done the blood buff and then try it again.
No, you're welcome to try again. Just, like, lay there going, dang it.
I mean, on the bright side, you don't have to worry about suffocating with it crushing your lungs.
Yeah.
It is true.
You just also probably can't talk, though.
And then Abby spins on her heel and looks at Cal. So, how good at you at dodging?
Oh no.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought she was just gonna pull the same thing she pulled with Fovana and just throw it without warning. Because either way, I was planning on trying to dodge it rather than catching it. So so understanding that being among the kindred makes him a bit more durable. It's like, want to fuck around and find out?
Is that the answer you wanted?
So
So
what am I doing with dodging? Like, what
Dodge
am I
is
rolling
Dex
on?
Athletics.
All right, Dex and Athletics.
at a
So
+1 difficulty because you don't have
yes, that's
athletics.
gonna bring it up to 7. So
But you
then
can
would I
add
also?
celerity. You can add celerity to this.
Celerity
Yeah, I
is
was gonna
added
be
to
asking.
anything Dex related.
Gotcha.
By the way, guys, you can spend a willpower to get at least one automatic success, but that's if you want to use it in this moment.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
next
this is
question was gonna be
training.
like, yeah, my next question was gonna be like on if I could use a blood point to buff that a bit.
You can use a blood point to buff any of your physical abilities by that 1 point for a max of 5. Um, as well as if you really thought it would be worth it to spend one, which by the way, guys, if you spent willpower last session, you get one more back. Um, but otherwise, you can spend a willpower to get a success. Guarantee at least one success. So it would be added on to whatever you rolled.
But that's up to you if you want to spend willpower on a sparring session.
You know what? I'm gonna avoid doing that because if I'm just burning through willpower, then that I feel like I'm not learning as much. I am, however, going to use a blood point.
It's very fair. And soon we can get hunting scenes for everybody, depending on how hungry they are.
Yeah, no, I'm taking that tree.
Oh, this wasn't a tree. Abby was swinging.
All right. Yep. All right. Let's do it.
Is she at least holding back a little so she doesn't just obliterate him?
I don't know if there's rules to hold back. Let me do
So
a
this
quick
is what I
search.
will say.
Well, her fist
This
just
is
goes straight through
this
Calvin's torso.
this is what
That
I
won't
will
happen.
say.
She does bashing damage.
Here's the rule that I will put down. We can either if you're choosing to hold back, forego potence if you have it, or we can add like 1 or 2 difficulty to do damage. I'm willing to homebrew this rule for holding back.
Repeat what you said.
I said we can either, if you were choosing to hold back, forego potence altogether. So like you take that away from your dice rolls, or we can add like 1 or 2 difficulty to the roll, so you are less likely to do a crap ton of damage.
So by technicality, potence is not anything that can be turned off. However,
No, you can't technically turn it off, but I imagine it like how in the comic books, whenever you have a person with super strength, they have to learn how to like hold back so they don't use said super strength. You can't turn it off. It's still technically there, but you know how hard or fast to swing your fists, so you're not using the full.
I have an idea. I can make a willpower roll at like diff 6, and if I succeed, I choose a number, and that's the maximum amount of damage that I can do.
I'm okay with that.
This means Abby is trying to hold back, but may not be able to if the willpower doesn't work. However, Abby also has good willpower, so
I will say roll your current willpower.
that is still good. Okay, I'm going to declare 4. I cannot do more than 4 bashing damage.
It's still a decent amount, honestly.
Yeah, but it gets halved after so.
True.
4 is a good. Something's going to twinge a little.
Good enough to knock the wind out of him if he had wind in him in the first place.
Thankfully, I capped it at 4. All right.
Yeah,
so,
no kidding.
So what Sketchy does, what Cal does now is roll your stamina at difficulty 6. And remember, I said I capped it at 4, so ignore that nasty looking 7.
All right, you said stamina at 6.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's solid. So that reduced the pulled punch by 2, leaving 2 bashing, and then it gets halved because vampires have all incoming bashing damage. So I like to think it's one of those like Abby is coming in full force and you got to step out of the way, but you're not very proficient at it, and you roll in just the wrong direction that you're getting ready to impact Abby's fist as Abby's getting ready to impact you, but she stops it. And there's enough force behind it that she never makes contact, but there's this like shock wave that just drills you in the chest, and you just get rocked back a bit, suffering 1 point of bashing damage.
I was gonna say you nicked his arm.
I mean, that works too, but
Like he just barely got out of the way, but like not quite, so you still hit him.
So yeah, there's a nasty bruise on your arm. We'll go with that.
She's strong, but she's
All
still
right,
not One
so
Punch
I'm
Man.
bruised but not hurt. Like,
She
is
only
that what I'm
7
hearing?
points of damage. Yeah, so on your character sheet, you would put a little backslash on the first health level to denote that you suffered 1 bashing damage.
All right, that has been marked.
As you get the tiniest taste of a held back Abby punch. You had some grace, but we will absolutely have to work on your technique.
For a moment, Cal is actually like just dead silent, and he is thinking about. He's not going to say anything, but he's just thinking about the last time a woman hit him, and so it was like the smile that he's typically carrying is like it's still there, just a little less wide, and he's just gonna literally say, "Again."
A little more forced.
You mean swing at you again?
And he's just going to nod.
And as she gets ready to do that, how's the Fovana under the tree?
Still rooted.
I mean, you can always give it another shot.
Yeah, did you make the blood point roll? I didn't see it.
No, I did not.
You can make it by spending 1 point of blood.
So yeah, you would spend a point of blood to
Okay.
increase your strength by 1 more, and then you could make that adrenaline roll again.
So the what was the adrenaline roll again?
Willpower diff 9.
Power diff 9. Okay. Well,
And that's the swing at Cal again. This would technically be another round, so if you wanted to buff your dexterity again, you could. The blood point that you spent previously will last the whole scene.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I was gonna ask if I needed to spend another one to do that. All right, gotcha.
But you can, in fact, spend it again to increase it by one more point, and then that one will also last for the rest of the scene, up until you are one over your generational maximum.
Gotcha. My generational maximum puts me at how much? Oh
So,
wait, like
so we're
as far as
all
like the blood pool.
so no. Your generation denotes your max traits. All of us on this team can only have max of 5, so you can go up to 6 by spending blood. Technically higher, but then it degrades one per round.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go spend it. Might as well, since this is like a safe environment to do it in.
Yeah, and blood's relatively easy to get back. It's willpower that's a bitch.
True. Plus, given where we're staying at, we can just ask for like, hey, this guy needs a larger cup if you're gonna be putting some blood in it. So
Can I get the big gulp? And then it would be Dex Athletics plus Celerity.
yep, that was bad. All
The,
those dice and only one success.
the question is, does Abby count this as a challenge, and will she hold back the punch?
How much does she like Cal?
She does, but how serious was Cal when he said again?
I will say, even though that smile was there and how observant Abby is, that smile kind of shrank just a little bit, but his tone did denote some seriousness behind it, like an unusual level of seriousness
How about this?
considering him.
How about this? To determine if Abby can read it or not, let's have her do a wits empathy roll at a +1 difficulty.
Okay. At least I have wits.
That's why it's at a +1 difficulty.
Holy shit. She's reading the room.
Yeah, she's reading the room and she can tell there's something off with Cal and that what is it? He's wanting to do this again to prove something to himself to try to get it right or
Yeah, what is his intent? Apparently, Abby is actually intrigued.
and while she's not going to obviously get like the full logistics, she can get the vibe.
Yeah.
So like what is Cal's intent on telling her to hit him again?
So if she does decide to swing, he is still going to try to dodge, but it's like he cares a little bit less about getting hurt at the moment. Like there is something in him that he is trying to bring out mentally and just to see if he can like overcome that.
Feel like he's facing a fear of sorts.
Not exactly with facing a fear, but more like I guess you could say he is trying to prove something to himself. You know, like he isn't he's not as vulnerable as he used to be. While he knows that he's far from strong, he he refuses to let one hit be what uh what makes him decide to stop for the day. So I guess in a way you could say that yeah, he is trying to prove something to himself in a way. Try and find the right way to phrase it.
That one hit won't put him down. Give him the second one.
So, does that enough context for her to hold back? Or would she be like, take all that and be like, okay, full force? Because she now has some level of context for him.
Yeah, I guess even though he said again, I guess the best way of phrasing it would be like his mind is somewhere else at the moment, even though he's kind of like he's technically focused, but he's thinking about something.
She can't hold back. I made my willpower roll and she failed.
Hey, was she let Cal?
Otherwise, like if she could have, I had something in mind. Unless the storyteller lets me override.
I'll let you override for this one.
Okay. Because
She's got enough intent behind this one to where she can focus more on it. It's less of a willpower and a lot more focus.
all right, then we'll roll cinematic here. Uh, like just the sheer fact that she was able to read somebody, even just a little bit, throwing her off guard, because she has very zero connection with human and human emotions. That she sees this in look in Cal's eyes, like he hardens, like the smiling bartender just fades to the back just a little bit, and her fist comes hurtling towards you, in the exact success ratio as the last time. Uh, and you see all this force roiling towards you. You brace yourself for the hit, but instead of the punch landing, it's a full force hug.
I will
Roll
also
for
say that
squeeze.
when she was getting really close to swinging, even though Cal was definitely focused, you can definitely see him tense up and flinch rather than straight up moving for a second.
I'm assuming with the flinch, like your eyes close for a moment.
Yeah, so it's like he's not expecting a hug, he's expecting to get hit.
Yeah,
Roll for squeeze!
so yeah, you flinch, your eyes blink just a bit, but instead of feeling an impact to the side of your head, you feel these iron arms wrap around you in a bear hug.
I'm being serious. Roll for squeeze.
So just what? Roll my strength and potence.
Yeah. It won't do damage, but he might have some free chiropractic.
Any kind of pops that he didn't get from his back
Oh!
earlier when he woke up.
It's actually a gentle hug.
Yeah. Like,
It's
the
a
impact was
genuine hug.
probably... Yeah. The impact was probably a little forceful, and, like, the grip is still really firm, because, you know, it's Abby. She's very strong. But, like, you know, out of any time she's ever held back, this is probably the most she seems to have ever held back. This is a very gentle hug. Very comforting.
And I like to think like this is one of the few times she feels emotion, having felt whatever this weird vibe come from Cal is, and she's kind of like sniffling against you, because you know she's 5'3", you're 5'11", slams into this hug, probably kicks you up off the ground a little bit because she's small but strong, and it's just like not crying because then that would just get blood all over the place, but like that pre-stage crying.
She's got the pouty lip.
Um Hey, you you good there?
You good?
That smile goes back to its default state. It's like always.
Ray comes over with the
I mean, I'm
cat because at this point I know probably all of you are concerned where Ray is, and she just goes, "Look, look at cat, look at cat, Abby, look at the kitty."
Meanwhile, all this is going on, I'm like punching at the tree to make noise and look at all of them with my arms in the air, annoyed.
Emotional scene over here. Don't forget about me.
still exist.
Emotional
Notice me,
scene, like
senpai.
cat, and then Bavana is stuck under a tree because she was just forgotten.
Get this nature off me.
I want to do a hilarious jest right now. Ray will walk up to Bavana and go, "Suffer knowing that nature will always take over technology. Suffer knowing that will always be our fate." And then she walks away.
And Ray's just been put
I'm
on the
mentally
stat
putting
list.
you on the stab list. Yep.
Wait, wait,
Good night,
which sorry, I forgot I got pushed to talk on. Which one of us is on the stab list now?
Ray,
Ray's on the
I'm
stab
on the
list.
stab list now. I felt left out. Yay!
How high on the list is she? I'm curious.
Above that driver.
That's fair.
How high is she on the list? Guess we'll find out later, won't we?
Above the driver, slightly below the person at Subway that forgot to put pickles on my sub that one time.
You
I've never
forgot
been back
the
there.
pickles.
I will stab them still. It happened in a former life, but it's still gonna happen.
but yeah, still caught in the hug. Abby's like, you were really hurt before, weren't you? There's this weird look in your eyes. I just couldn't hit you.
I'm okay, but I appreciate the concern. And he's actually because he was just kind of stun locked at this point, just not sure where it came from or why. Why, like as far as the hug is concerned, and he's gonna return the gesture and actually hug back.
Probably slightly awkwardly because I imagine his arms are a bit pinned. Unless she like went under his arms.
We can say for scene's sake, it was under his arms.
Okay.
And it feels weird for Abby because Abby can't remember the last time she's ever gotten a hug. Probably when she was a human. Ooh, does this trigger any latent Abby memories? Because the last person she would have ever hugged would have been her best friend.
Maybe. Make another willpower roll, but I'll let you do a max willpower.
Any difficulty higher than 6?
No, just base difficulty 6. Actually, because of the nature of like why the amnesia is there in the first place, I'll say 8.
Nope, no latent. If it was 6, I would have gotten 1.
Sorry.
It happens. We have an entire game for Abby to remember who she was.
Yep, and I'm still working out the deets of how to bring in Abby's whole thing. I have some ideas.
I have some ideas too, like eventually getting the Red Wizards to help research stuff for her.
Yeah.
But with that, Abby will place Cal basically back on the ground because he was probably just a few inches off the ground. And then, like, she takes a step back. She gives like that like super fangy smile because her fangs are huge, and then stops and goes, Oh fuck, Pavana runs over and just eats the log off of her. Makes it look easy as shit. And then extends a hand out to help you up.
Well, thanks.
Sorry, Cal wanted to learn how to dodge my punches.
That's okay. I wasn't going anywhere, I guess.
And yeah, she'll help you get back to your feet. So, if we keep working on these few things, you'll be able to bolster your strength, which will help with your stabbing and your tree eating. And I can help with everyone's dodging capabilities as well as catching and throwing, and all other kinds of pure physical brutality.
Well, the good news is. Well, the good news is I have additional things to stab now. I kind of look in Ray's direction for her comment earlier.
Well, if you
What?
would like
It's
to effectively.
true. You're going to be murdered by nature at one point. I know I'm gonna die by nature at one point. I'm saying it so you're knowing better.
That
Well,
makes me think of the joke of like, well, like she died of natural causes. She was shot 46 times, so naturally they'd be dead.
Make that meme, but Ray. Uh, this would be like Cal. Why did you said they would die by natural causes? My claws are part of me, so it is part of the natural cause that when the blood came out from me clawing their chest into two, that blood loss is their natural cause of death.
and
Shrugs
then
shoulders.
Abby
Lack
comes
of
out of
blood is a
nowhere.
natural cause.
Abby comes out of nowhere.
He died of
What?
natural causes. He was
Our
attacked by a
existence is
pack of
unnatural.
wolves.
Side note, I have an idea because we need to wrap this up for tonight. I will have anybody who's training make. This is what I just decided and thought of doing, and depending on if this makes things too broken or not, I'll probably remove this and we'll see. I don't know yet. Um, I'm thinking since you guys are actively training something, you won't get a new point in it, but I will let you roll the physical attribute that you are wanting to train up to be stronger, plus athletics, difficulty +1 if you don't have athletics. And for each success that you get, I will say to level up that skill, it's going to cost 1 XP less than what it normally would. What do you guys think?
Uh,
All right, so I'm just making sure I understood that correctly. So we got this documented. We're
yeah, I'm
rolling
kind of tired, so I.
athletics. So athletics plus whatever skill we want to level up.
Yes. Although, if that is for just general, like, physical attributes, if there's a specific skill that you're wanting to level, like brawl or something like that, because you guys were doing a lot of punching today, um, then you could do that one. But from what it seems like to me, it's been mostly just a focus on the physical attribute. So I will let you guys pick whether it's strength or dexterity that you were wanting your character to work on and roll that plus your athletics. And however many successes you get at base difficulty 6, +1 difficulty if you don't have athletics. And for every success that you get, you can reduce the XP cost to level up that attribute by one per success.
All right, so my next question is if I wanted to boost my dex a bit, would I still be adding celerity on top of this, or is it just straight up the stuff you mentioned?
I will allow celerity this one time to see how it goes. Um, because that is for any dex roll, and this is just to see how the rest of training went.
I got 2 successes.
So leveling up your dexterity will now cost 2 less XP.
All right.
So make a note of that somewhere for now. And then as soon as you spend it, that reduction goes away. It'll go back up to its normal. Seemed like Fovana was mostly working on her physical strength, so you'd roll strength plus athletics.
Okay. So pretty much the same roll.
Yep. I want to give you guys some level of benefit for taking time to actually work on skills. Oh, nice.
Oh,
Time
geez.
to actively endure Abby.
Yeah. So that's gonna be 4 uh 4 points less cost towards your next point in strength.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to make it feel like that you guys actually gained something out of the interaction outside of just roleplay. Because I don't know, you're actively training something rather than just naturally progressing it. So to
That's
me,
true.
it makes sense that you garner some sort of benefit from training. And I will say that I will put this to any attribute. Think of kind of like you're playing a Sims game. So like if you wanted to boost your social, you want to go to talk in the mirror, practice speeches or something, I don't know, or get like coaching from someone who is really charismatic, then you
Sit
can do
down and
that.
have a conversation with Calvin
Yeah, be like, so this is how you talk to people.
while maintaining eye contact. You can't stare
Exactly.
at your shoes the whole time.
You
The trick is to
people.
look right between their eyes at the bridge of their nose to feign eye contact. But yeah, so you can do that. And then like with mental I don't know, intelligence, reading a book, wits, maybe your reflexes. I don't know how you would train wits and perception. If you guys could figure that out, I will absolutely let you do that. Yeah, I will.
Crossword puzzles.
You
Sure.
see that penny on the ground about 5 miles from here?
That would be a thing with Auspex. Heightened senses, with Auspex being a really high level, but no. Oh heck, you could even just play a game of hide and seek with each other.
Sweet.
That could be a way to do
I'd be down for that. That would actually be kind of fun.
it. Just keep rolling like
Mhm.
perception. Um, which one's the supernatural one? Alertness or awareness?
Awareness.
Okay, so perception, alertness, just to find each other, and then awareness for Abby, because she has camouflage, so it would be a supernatural one. But yeah, no, you guys could totally just play hide and seek together for perception. I don't know. That's the idea that came across me. But that's gonna be the homebrew rule that I have here, because I want to reward you guys for training stuff. Um, but yeah, just make sure you make a note. I will also make a note, but I still want you guys to have it. Um, that your next dot to next time you level up that attribute, you get it reduced by that amount of successes.
Okay.
Yeah, at that, we'll go ahead and do our closing stuff and then end for the night. Thank you, everybody, for watching. But first off, we will start with Ray. Why don't you introduce yourself? Where can we find you? And then tell us something that Ray either learned today or a character growth moment for her.
Hello, I am Looney Tooney. You can find me here on Twitch with 8 Looney Tooney 8 because Looney Tooney was taken. You can also find me on Blue Sky as Looney Toon Lagoon. And a character growth for Ray would be that she's just kind of ended up accepting after 2 nights of nightmares. And I didn't do this in roleplay because all this, but she looked within the mirror and just saw what she personifies as her inner beast. She just kind of looked at it and said, "Fuck you. I'm me, you're you." And that's where she got dressed up in her new outfit and ended up just going out, just kind of just saying, "Screw it. They might as well know me for me."
Fair enough. That is a total 3 XP for tonight. Calvin. Oh, wait, no, hold on. You didn't say who you are and where we can find you.
Me?
Yes, she
Eddie?
did.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah.
I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, Calvin, who are you? Where can we find you? And what is one either character growth moment or something that he has learned, or both? Because you guys have managed to do both from time to time.
That is true. So, hello everybody. My name is Markiplier, and I'm just kidding. My name is Sketchy Art Demon, and I can be found here on Twitch at the tag listed below, Sketchy Art Demon with the underscore in between everything. I can also be found on Instagram and TikTok on those same handles. Uh, you can also find me on Twitter at sketchy underscore demon, as well as Blue Sky at sketchy art demon with a hyphen in between everything because they wouldn't let me put underscores in the username. But yeah, when in doubt, just look for S that has a demon tail slapped on top of it. And I also play the role of Calvin Woodrow. And tonight, learning experiences was well, for one, he learned a little bit more about throwing punches from Abby. Character growth moment probably would have been like right before that hug, just because like he's really like kind of locking in on stuff, at least trying to. What else? Learned that Fovana is deceptively strong. Also learned that Cyrus has a retainer on his payroll. And I'm going to say payroll in air quotes because I don't know if these guys actually get paid for it.
Depends on
What
how nice
else?
the vampire is.
Also true. Uh, what else did Calvin learn tonight already?
I mean, technically, you only need one thing.
True. That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, got some learning things. Got a little bit of character growth with how seriously he's taking the whole combat training stuff. But yeah, I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, so that is 4 XP for tonight for you. Um, Abby, tell us, who are you and where all can we find you? And then what is either a character growth moment and or something that she's learned?
So, I'm Raziel. You can find me associating with all of these lunatics. I don't usually do anything on my own, but I will almost always be found with them somehow. But I play Abby, the gargoyle, and something that me as the player has learned is apparently Abby is the mascot for this. feel like I've inserted myself very well as being the mascot of the show. uh,
Everyone loves Abby.
right? Everyone does love Abby. Uh, let's see here. As for something she's learned, where the two people that she has been training tonight may not uh, be as powerful as she is physically, which I mean, it's not saying much. Abby knows she's a Mack truck. Uh, they not only have their own strengths, but they definitely have potential. And if they want to continue to be physically stronger, Abby will absolutely keep teaching them, whether it's to help Calvin dodge and throw punches or to improve on Fofana's strength. I'm sorry, Swolvana's strength to help
Yeah.
with the stabbing. Uh, Abby is here for that. She's never had anyone come to her for her knowledges. And if she could be like, I could teach other people how to brick somebody, she's all down for it. Uh, and I suppose this is like 50-50 a growth as well as learning something as at the same time. But with that role to understand that look in Cal's eyes, perhaps Abby is not as disconnected from her humanity as she believed.
I like it. I like it a lot. You can give yourself total 4 XP for tonight. Bovana, who are you? Where can we find you? And what is one thing that she has learned tonight, that she has learned and or a character growth moment for?
Um, I don't know. Who am I? I'm Pyrrha. You can find me here and all the other little places that we linked there. And I completely blanked. My brain's not working tonight. I apparently am tired.
Oh, let's start with
Uh
where can we find you?
oh, all those places. Blue Sky, YouTube. Uh there's the Discord there. I accept the links there. Everything is all Arates. Most places. You can find me there. And then of course here on Twitch. And of course I play Fovana, who I think learned today that trees are heavy. Um they are hard. And I don't really know what else. Oh, I guess I can fit a pistol and a Bowie knife in my purse and carry it with me. So
very,
I think that's what I've got.
very nice. You
I
get.
should have shot at the tree.
It would have been funny if you did.
Uh,
I'm not even gonna lie. I was tempted to try throwing a
I
knife at the end.
I should have like shot in the air to get everyone's attention instead of like punching the tree. I forgot about the gun.
It's fine. You were
Look,
kind of
I have a
trapped.
cat in my arms. I'm sorry for not paying attention.
Also, you probably wouldn't have been able to lift the tree either. You don't have potence.
I still would have warned them, but I had cat. I had kitty cat.
I'm almost surprised you didn't like.
Well, I knew the tree was coming. I thought I could catch it. The dice said no.
The dice did indeed say no. Um,
Also, real quick, Sketchy, you talking about throwing a knife. Do you want to know the bad news about that?
It's strength based, isn't it?
No, you need athletics. It's Dex Athletics to throw items.
Decimal. Oh shit.
Well, now you know something that you need to put some points into, so that way you're not working
True.
at a +1 difficulty.
Now I know.
Just be
And
throwing
knowing
some
is
lead.
half the battle.
But that will be +3 XP for you, Pira. And then finally,
What?
me, the storyteller. Unfortunately, I can't give myself XP, otherwise I would. But I am Pink Spooter. You can find me over on here on Twitch at Pink Spooter, spelled with 2 zeros. And Blue Sky and YouTube as Pink Spooter, but with 2 O's, like just 2 lowercase O's. Because when I was making a thing here on Twitch, the one with 2 O's was taken by someone who does not even use their Twitch account, from what I could tell. I'm just a little salty. It's
Oh
fine.
no.
It's a little salty. It's fine. But but yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed the session, and if you are over on YouTube and you've watched all the way up to this point, thank you so much. I should start remembering at the beginning of these things to do like mature content disclaimers, because BTM gets dark, man.
Maybe at like the beginning of the videos, if there's like a really, really harsh topic, put like warnings down, and then during the like make a chapter for it, being like, hey, this is part of it that is like really painful if you can't handle that.
Yeah, I might. Um, I'll probably make a script for myself to read off and for that kind of thing. And the very beginning of the stream with a tag in the video somewhere once it's on YouTube as a harsher warning. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. But yep, you can find me there. One thing I've learned is I can just make up homebrew rules for things, and I should do that to make things more fun more often, such as encourage people to train, give a reason for it other than just cinematics.
Yeah.
That's probably more of a character growth moment than a learning. I'll take it though. um, at that is our game for tonight. We will hopefully be back next week, hopefully a little bit early. I got home late, so that's why we started late today. Thank you both Twitch and YouTube for watching, and for those who've raided, thank you for the raid. We will see you guys next week. Do we want to raid
All
us
right.
anyone, or do we just want to end it for tonight?
I have 2 suggestions if you do want to raid.
We can raid.
Do folks want to do someone that's doing art or someone that's doing Elden Ring?
I feel like we had a pretty chill vibe today, so let's do art. Art tends to be a chiller vibe.
I might
Okay.
go and play some Dragon Age. If you guys are just gonna linger around and call, I might just go on my Xbox and play it.
I'm probably gonna get in VR chat and do my daily fishing.
Daily fishing now? Nice.
Yeah, there's dailies in the fishing.
We could all just
Nice.
probably
Hold on. I'm
chill
trying
if
to.
anybody else isn't going anywhere. We could all just chill and talk for a bit longer after this call.
Yeah,
Hold on a
sure.
minute.
Yay! Also, one day I
There we
really
go.
gotta animate. I really gotta animate one thing. It has to be an emote of me falling through a like through the ceiling and just going like falling Gibby style and then just Oi.
Oh, hun, she posted the raid name.
Oh, and here. Okay.
I sent it in the.
Yep, I was telling her.
Okay.
By the way, I also need to emphasize again, Abby is not fighting at full strength.
I gotta draw Abby petting cats with Ray. I like that. I like that little idea.
Oh, and
Absolutely do it.
animals like Abby.
Yeah, that's why I'm imagining the two of them petting cats together.
Don't they also like Fovana?
Yeah, I think Fobana also
Yes.
has inoffensive.
Yep.
I imagine the three of us in a feline cuddle puddle, but Fobana secretly has a knife like hidden under one of the cats, just waiting to stab Ray.
Sounds about right.
It's not even a murderous stab. It's just a nice stab in the side. I'm like, that's payback for insulting me.
Just a friendly little stab. It's fine.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
Right?
But yeah, if
All right.
Abby pushes herself, she could have another 4 points in strength.
Alright,
I
I'm
also
gonna
want
hit
to
the
give you
start
guys
raid
some
button.
context. What she said to her wasn't a threat. It was just her stating a fact.
It doesn't matter, you still insulted her. You walked up and you rubbed it in her face. Didn't have to be a threat.
Yeah, you could have helped.
How could I have helped? I don't have the
You could have told people, hey,
I was also distracted by a cat. Would Vivana understand that Ray would be like distracted by cats?
I would be completely understanding. I would still be mad.
They've known each other for 2, technically 3 nights now.
Yeah, this would be
All
the
right.
third night.
I'm going to go ahead and hit the button here. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I've already got the countdown started. It's got 40 seconds on the timer.
So yeah, we're just kicking back, chilling for the next 30 seconds. But yeah, it's been great, everybody. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay sassy, stay classy, and have a good night.
Bye-bye.